Okay guys, welcome back. So let's start. The first thing I want to show you is that if I select my second cluster, the one called SB vSAN 01, when I go to configure, if I choose services, I want you to notice data arrest encryption is disabled and data in transit encryption is disabled. Now in my demo, I'm only going to enable one of these features. Now in the first lab, they're going to tell you to pretty much go to one of your hosts. And they're going to tell you to test connectivity. They're going to tell you to ping your KMS server. Your KMS server should be up and running. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the IP address of the KMS server should be 172.20.10.193. And the book, they tell you to ping that particular machine by name. In both cases, you should see a reply. Now, for data arrest encryption, the first thing you would need to do is go to your vCenter. You would go to configure. And if you just deploy your environment, this is going to be empty. What you have to do is you have to click on Add Standard Key Provider. You come up with a name. Here you choose. Once again, remember you're going to see two options because again, you're going to start with one and then switch to a second one. And when it comes to the address, you can use the IP address and or the name. In class, we use port 5696. So this would be step number one. At that point, you would click on Add Key Provider. A pop-up window would appear. And in that case, what you would do is you would choose Trust. Now I'm going to click on Cancel. Once you do that, notice if you do something wrong, you could always make changes by clicking on Edit. And of course, you could also choose Remove. Now in this case, I'm not going to do Remove yet. Typically, again, the second step is you would establish trust. But again, I've mentioned I wasn't going to do the entire demo, just a part. So, on purpose, notice, I have not configured my KMS server. Therefore, I cannot enable data arrest encryption. Take a look. If I go to SB vSAN 01, if I go to services, if I did not take care of my KMS server, I would never be able to click on Edit and successfully enable data arrest encryption. Now, when you specify the key provider, as you specify that particular key provider, the idea is you will see it right here. This will be auto-populated. Now, if I try to turn on data arrest, again, if this is blank, it's going to fail. Now, instead, in my demo, I want to only enable data in transit encryption. Remember, these two are independent from each other. And as we mentioned in the lecture, you can change the read key interval. Now, I don't need to change this. If you take a look, this should be pretty quick. I'm going to click on Apply. And what you want to do typically at this point is you want to look at your recent tasks. Now, when you look at the recent tasks, this should take a couple of minutes. Remember, this does not require a DFC. So you can see your vSAN information and configuration is being updated. And again, this I expect it to take about another minute. The goal here is to show you once again that you don't need both. And the new feature does not require, once again, that you have a KMS server. If you take a look, here it is. You can see it is enabled. And once again, if you want, you can click on Edit. You can turn this off when you want to. You could change the read key interval whenever you want to. Or again, if I wanted to at this point, if I specify who the KMS server is, I could very easily also enable data arrest encryption. And that pretty much takes care of this demo. One more thing. Remember, this feature, data in transit encryption, is incompatible with remote vSAN. So what I'm going to do for now is I am going to once again turn this off because my demo at this point is pretty much done. So, all I can say is, have fun. And once again, once we finish this chapter, we have more material to cover. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon.